Welcome, lovely souls, to a new spiritual painting practice. Today we are going to let go of a certain part of our life, a project, whatever, and being grateful for what it has brought us, and then closing it so that we are open to new things. And the reason I'm doing that right now is for a few different reasons, actually. I need to close down a few things in my life, in my business, or at least to open new things in my business. I have currently 3 Facebook groups that are no longer very active. I want to keep one as my main community group, and the 2 ones I will archive them. One never really got started. I did a few meetings, and then I went into seasonal depression last year, so I never really got into it, so there's no point in it. And the second one is a Facebook group that I created when I was doing a spiritual painting book club from the book Rise Above from Whitney Freya, who is an amazing intuitive artist, and she created a beautiful book, and she gave the idea to create a book club and to meet for every chapter or so, and I did that. I created an online Facebook group, and we met every month. And I think it was in March that we did the last chapter, and for me, I needed to do the conclusion as well, to close it and then close the group. And so, yeah, it feels like, it's time. And because when I can close these 2 groups, then I'm also going to sort of revive the first group that I created, that is going to be my main community Facebook group. And I also need to make an announcement and everything. But before that, I've been wanting to do that for quite some time. And today's the day. So I'm going to do this in a spiritual practice so that I can invite my guides with me. I can be, grateful for everything that I've done, and then be open to new things. Because what I've realized that sometimes you need to close some things, some chapters, some project in order to be open to new things. And this is a good example of it is that in my first, my biggest Facebook group, the one that I created first, and that was to meet other people like me that needed to do spiritual painting in order to heal themselves and help themselves, and I wanted to meet people that did the same, and I created this group, and in it I did a weekly spiritual painting practice for free for something like 6 months, until my seasonal depression of last year, where I stopped the guided meditation practice, and we would just meet to chat and creating on our own stuff, but not together. And and I did that until February, where I decided to stop these weekly meetings because I felt like it was not bringing me what I needed at the moment. I really felt like, it was the end. And then when I stopped these weekly meetings, I started really quite days later, weeks later, I can't remember, but I started the Visible and Confident Empath Retreat from Veronica Cresto, that led me to subscribe to her membership, that led me to start my spiritual business practice. And I really felt like it's because I closed this chapter that a new one opened for me. I really felt it in myself, and I knew that I needed to close these 2 Facebook groups that are no longer active, in order to maybe restart the first Facebook group that needs also another name, stuff like that. So today is the day, and I thought it would be a great idea for me to share the process, so that you can also do the same, sort of letting go of something that doesn't work for you, the gratefulness of what it has brought to you, and then closing it, thanking it, closing it, and being open to new things. So I'm going to take the painting behind me, the green one. This is the painting that where I did one of the last layers of the Rise Above book club, and so I'm going to do this practice to close this Rise Above book club, to thank it and everything, to put everything in the painting so that it helps me, and I'm going to share with you the whole process. So I hope you like it, and you can do this all with me in your own ways. If you don't paint, you may be collaging or writing or drawing, watercolor, whatever, dancing, singing, any sort of expressing art, creativity is going to fit into this practice. So I'll see you in the next part of this video. So as always, I always then start my practice with using my portable altar with my different stones, my little owl, a feather, a smudging stick that I made myself, a candle, and today we even have flowers from the garden. And so I always then make a sort of a prayer, a silent one, and want to sort of start the practice to help me contact my guides to help me through this time. So I will do it one now so that you know a little bit how I do it, if it can inspire you. So what I say is I put my hand on my heart and I say, dear guides, spirits, source, universe, thank you for being with me today while I am closing a chapter of my life, while I'm finishing the Rise Above book club practice, the conclusion, the knowledge that I have this practice now whenever I need it, whenever I need to express myself, to find answers, to find support. I know I can take whatever canvas, paper, anything that has spiritual meaning for me, and put it on paper, all my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings, and I know I will always get an answer, a message, confirmation, or at the very least I know I will feel better afterwards. So today I am asking for your help to close this chapter, to close these 2 Facebook groups that are no longer needed in this world, closing also in a way a part and a chapter of my first Facebook group that is going to stay open but get a new inspiration, a new energy. Thank you for helping me do that. And afterwards I always, or almost always, get a card. Today I'm going to take a different oracle deck. This is a French one that I've been using lately, and at the same time I focus on my question or my intent, and I ask what is the best card for me today to help me close all these chapters in my life, and know maybe like a new message or confirmation. Okay, I feel this is the right one. Jinn, wilderness, enigma, service, choice. Okay, that's a new one on me. So I put it somewhere here. Oh, I didn't do the smudging stick. Let's do the smudging stick as well. well. So this magic stick I make myself from whatever plant, tree, bark, flowers, This one is made out of eucalyptus, and there is bark and there are some leaves as well. And it smells divine, and it also connects with my ancestors, because we have a lot of eucalyptus in Portugal, where my parents come from, and it helps me connect to all this. Okay, so I'm going to read what the card is about. Okay. Okay, so this is an interesting card. So it's all about the jinns, which are sort of spirits, I think from North Africa originally, and so they are invisible spirits that can take shapes on Earth, and they are neither good nor bad. They can be both. And so basically the card is telling me to be aware of my actions, either good or bad, or at least the consequence of my actions. And then there is like an exercise that you can do with this card, and it is to write down all the limiting beliefs that you have, the negative thoughts that might be holding you back. And so the ritual that they offer is interesting, but I think I can do it, of course, on my painting. So it's an interesting card because I didn't think about that, but it's also another way of closing a chapter, is also letting go of the beliefs that were maybe blocking me to open, to close this Facebook group, to finish this book club, to open like a new chapter. So yes, it's a quite good companion. So I'm going to put my altar away somewhere, and I'm going to set the camera so that you can see me painting, and I'll see you in the next chapter. So here I am writing down my prayers, my thankfulness, my gratitude to this layer, to the book from Whitney Freya, to all the lessons that I have learned from it, as well as all the good that came from the 2 Facebook groups that I am closing, and the one that I sort of giving a new direction. And afterwards I wrote the word thank you, and then I felt inspired to do a sort of oval shape, and then to paint it, the inside all with a green and a yellow. And then somehow it felt like it wasn't enough and really needed a sort of a blank page, and I used gesso with a card and I spread it all over. So I wanted to share with you this layer. So you've seen before, I've written down everything, and so this feels like the blank page, the new chapter. And I've used the yellow and green paint, and then I felt like I needed to use gesso. Gesso is what you use to prime a page, paper, canvas, so that the paint will stick better to it and won't go inside the paper or whatever substrate you're using. And that's what I love about this practice, is that you get answers, you get messages from the practice itself, from the painting. And as you can see, I have spread the paint, the gesso, with this card. It's not a credit card, it's like a customer card, whatever, from a chain of supermarkets, and you can see different, it's like imprints from the previous layers. And this exactly what happens in life. When you are closing down a chapter, you are moving on, you still have the imprints from the past experience, from the thing that you're moving on from, out from, whatever. And that's that's the magic of this practice, is that you get little insights from the painting itself. Okay, so let's go back to the practice. And now I am taking the pink again to sort of strengthen the outside of this oval. I'm using pink and purple and then red. For me, pink, when I use it, it feels like I'm doing like self-love on whatever I'm transforming. Red is for me passion and love as well, and purple is intuition. So sometimes I do feel like the colors have a message in themselves. Sometimes I don't really either. I'm not really conscious about it, or it doesn't really register in my conscious mind. Now we have the yellow, and as you can see, well, maybe you can't, but I'm using a lot of water in this painting and in a lot of the paintings I've been doing lately. And for me, water is of course cleansing, it's purifying, is and I think it's also part of the energetic process. And now I'm putting some different shades of blue inside, and as you can see, I'm sort of mapping a new symbol or a new direction. It happens quite often that I first do a symbol or a shape before painting it. It's like my hand is being guided to do something. So this is what I'm doing. And now I have drawn an extra ray of the sun that I didn't want to, so this is a bit annoying, so I'm trying to take it off, which is not going really well because I take off also the paint, so it's a lesson in itself. And so I continue with the shape and getting it some contrast, some light, to make it more, like the symbol that I want, or that I have in my mind. I'm also getting into the part that I try to erase to make it, look nice, or at least have this purpose. And now I'm getting, in the center, trying to get more contrast, more depth for this blue sun. And this is it for today. Welcome back. So this is the end of this practice. I don't think it's the end of this painting. Originally this canvas is already been repurposed. When I took it back from its previous layer, the idea was to paint Mother Nature. I'm not sure if this is still the case. Anyways, this is the layer of me closing a few chapters in my life, closing the book club, the Rise Above book club from Whitney Freya, which is also a Facebook group that is also going to be archived, and it's also closing a second Facebook group that I had created around creating our own path, that is also going to be archived. So, well, for me it looks like a blue sun. Blue is for me like water. I'm not really sure, but I loved the practice. I love the sort of circle that I did before with different colors, starting with a gesso, like a blank page, and then surrounding it with pink and purple, like surrounding it with love and intuition, and other colors. And as you saw, I had at some point I made a mistake. At least I think it is a mistake. Well, I started to do another piece of the sun, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel symmetrical or something. So I tried to erase it, but the paint was, too fresh. The background paint was too fresh, so I ended up also erasing the other background, which felt also good because, of course, the previous layer is also, of course, the past. So the past is always, somewhere there is a representation of the past in your present and in your future. So yeah, sounds good. So we'll see about this one. And this is how it is now. I hope you like this video, this practice. If you do feel like it has helped you, please leave me a comment. If you have questions, do so as well. You can like this video, you can share it with people that might also enjoy doing this practice. And you can even subscribe if you haven't done so. And I hope this video helped you with closing also a chapter in your life. Maybe unblocking something, giving thanks to something, whatever. And I'll see you in another video. Bye bye.